I just don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to get too far off of this subject. But when I think about cheating and I think about women, I think about so many different things. It always leads to society. It always leads to feeling. It always leads to the same instance, the same situation, the same, I mean, so many different topics, but it always leads to the same thing. That one thing is feeling. How can you not compare a relationship to having a child? At the same time, does a woman really care about a child as much as a man does? You know, I mean, I could just go on and on forever thinking about cheating, and at the same time, allowing it to lead me to so many other topics that it's pathetic. What it really is that I'm angry and upset that an individual doesn't have the capability to communicate. Why is it that you can't sit down with an individual and say, I want things to be like this, and behave in that particular fashion? A man says, I want shelter, I don't want to be cold. And he gets up and goes and builds shelter. What does a woman do? This is why we suffer from a lack of capability. This is why we suffer from a lack of comprehension, because I don't know what a woman does. I don't understand what a woman does. I don't comprehend why a woman cheats. It just doesn't make sense to me. What is the feeling that is so strong that you can't control yourself? Where is it that's in your mind that you have an inability to communicate with another individual? Now, add all these different types of communications. I think it fails if you don't add all three of them. But I think there's a problem when the woman wants to say this, do this, and portray something else. Sometimes it works when it's a 2-to-1 ratio. Sometimes it works when, it always works when it's a 3-to-0 ratio. But I think in most cases she suffers from that 1-to-2 ratio. It's a serious thing. Because if you ask me, I think that other 25% would have said it. They would have told you that they would cheat if they get away with it, if they could get away with telling you. There is a wise man that told me that it's hard to find a good woman. It's difficult to find a good woman. But these statistics, man, they're making me feel like they're probably not in existence anymore, and they probably won't be in existence. And in order to have a good woman, you have to make a good woman. And a lot of cases, it's difficult to make a good woman. I think a woman turns against her parents at a young age just due to her physical does not communicate the fact that she is against some of the teachings of the parents. As adults, we understand what it is that our parents were telling us as children, and we understand why we want to tell our children some of the same things. But what does it sound like when a woman talks to her daughter or son about cheating? More than that, what does it sound like when a woman is teaching her children through her behaviors about cheating? Because realistically, I don't think it has anything to do with raising a family or progression. I think it has a lot to do with self. I think more than anything, it has to do with self. I think a woman suffers right now, especially in these days of in this day of age, from a lack of care for anything other than herself.